So far, I can't complain. There's actually, from the last time that I saw everyone, I actually opened up another business on top of that. It's just behind this butcher, car wash. I think it's from their ideas because it increased my revenue a bit and it also increased my customer base as well. So I managed to save up money and open up a car wash on top of that. So that's one positive thing that has occurred in terms of the 6 months that have happened in my life. With the customer base increasing, I think the signage outside helped a lot. Because the only thing I had before them was just my logo. So a lot of people were confused that what's going on. Is this a cafe or is this any other business? But since they've been services that have been written on my wall in big white paint, and now a lot of customers understand what's going on in there. And it's increased. And a lot of people are happy because one thing that I got as well was a machine, like a color machine, and that's one thing that the guys recommended that I must get. And I've been getting a lot of people that do events as well coming here because they were complaining that they have to go all the way to town to do such printings. So now it's closer to where they're located. We've also introduced, there's this thing that a lot of customers were complaining about, like maybe a customer logs in for like 20 minutes and then they only utilize 5 minutes of the internet and then they leave. So now what we've implemented is a token. So after that 5 minutes, if maybe they got nothing else to do, then we give them a token with the remaining minutes that they didn't use. So they can come back and utilize those minutes until that token gets finished. And it's got no expiration date on it. And I increased my prices by 1 rand as well. I had a bit of complaints from people, but I think one thing that attracted them and what made them come back to my cafe is the speed of my internet. And there's one thing I'm also going to introduce is using of headphones, because a lot of people want to use YouTube. But a lot of internet cafes don't allow that because it utilizes a lot of data. So I'm going to use that because I actually extended my contract with Telkom and I took a bigger bundle so that people can use YouTube and can Skype. Because some people here in Alex actually say that they get interviews via Skype. So since there's no access to that, I'm also going to introduce that as well. I haven't implemented the referring program. Not yet. Yeah, discount vouchers, I decided to implement it, and I'm going to repeat myself. It's also increased database as well, you know. The nice thing is that now I'm getting customers that are out of Alex. Like they're coming all the way from Lombardy, all the way from the burbs, basically, you know. If not here, then, the other branch that I have at 18, or they go there at Penn, because they just love the service that we do. You know, and now we've also integrated the system of if maybe you use 20 minutes here, and maybe because sometimes we run out of paper because people use accounts. There's this system that we have where you just come in and you log in, you pay a cheaper price maybe for an hour with your username and password that we give you. You can use that in any cafe that you go to that is based either in 18 or Penn. So they all interlinked into one system. I think the one that worked the best is the discount one, and also the increasing of prices and decreasing my minutes. I think that was the best strategy that they ever came up with. As much as people were complaining, but when I look at my revenue, it's increased drastically. I can use that word. My revenue increased by 50%. I didn't expect that. I was actually expecting it to decrease a little until people adjusted to the new price and then increase, but it just instantaneously just increased. As much as I was getting complaints, people were still paying, you know. I haven't noticed any changes in terms of my competitors because I feel like that's going to throw me off because I've got my own business plan of what I want to implement, so they can do their own thing. As much as I know some of the owners, and they sometimes come to my cafe and use my services, I know they're scouting what I'm doing. If that's the way, then that's how it is. But I don't care what they're doing, because whatever I'm doing, it's working on my side. Because it distinguishes me from other internet cafes, and that's what makes me stand out from my competitors, you know. Because one thing I've seen is that they also slowly are introducing the services that I have. You know, as much as they're trying to differentiate from mine, but I can see that it's the same trend of what I'm basically doing. The spreadsheet that they actually introduced me to, in terms of the admin, has saved me a lot of time. You know, I've even trained some of my employees on how to do it, and it's made my life easier, basically. You know, having a soft copy is way better than just having it on a sheet and writing it with a pen, because I can misplace that. But with what they've introduced me to was magic, man. With the change of the layout of my cafe, I actually have only put in one more extra computer, because I'm avoiding my place being too congested, because there's days where it just gets too busy, you know, and now people have to stand outside and some people get impatient. And that's also helped a bit, because with that computer, that's where I mostly do my designs, my business cards, and every other service that I've also introduced, with them giving me the idea to introduce them. I just want to say thank you for everything and all the suggestions and all the ideas that they've given me. It's definitely made a difference in terms of money, in terms of my customer service, in terms of the friendliness from my staff to customers that walk in, and in terms of also differentiating my services and my ideas. I can say that it has bettered my life, you know. So I just want to say thank you very much for the ideas.